Tonight, two local families who've fallen on hard times got an early Christmas surprise at the San Antonio Zoo. Only Eyewitness News reporter Henry Ramos was there as the families were showered with love on this Christmas Eve.
On this Christmas Eve, a zoo visit for two deserving families was particularly special. Meet the Robinsons. They found themselves going through tough times and never thought they would be homeless.
Just a stroke of bad luck, you know what I'm saying? But the stroke of genius was finding Sam Ministry.
The Robinsons credit the local nonprofit Sam Ministries for turning their lives around.
In order not to succeed in Sam, you got to want not to succeed in Sam. Everyone that comes to Sam will succeed.
Single father Anthony Berardi and his kids stay at Haven for Hope. They, along with the Robinsons, thought they were just showing up to tour the zoo tonight.
Very surprised, very.
The surprise was on them. The zoo gave both families a dinner, some goodies, and an annual membership. But the surprises didn't stop there. The city's new professional football team, the San Antonio Commanders, with this touchdown of a deal. Defensive end Marlon Smith gave the family some new swag to wear, as well as tickets and sideline passes to a game. Matt Bonner with San Antonio Spurs even showed up.
It gives them a chance to have some normalcy, you know, to understand that their lives are just as important as anyone else.
A reminder this Christmas Eve not to just always ask, but to give to those, our neighbors, who could really use our help.
Christmas is all about the giving spirit. San Antonio is all about the giving spirit.
Henry Ramos, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.